You can come in. So welcome to Fuck Your Thoughts. Um on today's episode we will delve into the topic of Arrested Development. Not the early 90s black alternative hip hop group infamously known for the song Tennessee, nor the early 2000s TV show about a spoiled white man attempting to take over his family's real estate business, but rather about the delayed or stunted mental state of an individual or a community due to personal or comprehensive traumas, neglect, or substance abuse. And of course, we will talk our sass and get off task in our West Tennessee lingo.
Hola.
Hey,
Hola.
they wouldn't let me play the little music this time.
Oh, what? Don't find
I
that sign that they done copyrighted
couldn't.
let me find that they done copyrighted
That little elevator
the
music.
elevator music, the Kroger music.
It looked different.
What, the app look different?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they probably changed. They be changing so much stuff. Everything is so ever changing, ever
Yeah.
evolving.
Sometimes you just get with the changes, I guess.
Yeah, that's
So, whew, if the pollen is real today or something, honey, because
the problem is real every day.
they do, but it don't usually bother me.
Well, that's what happened. This get sick.
I can't hear you. What you say?
I was saying that usually this season has been weird because London never gets sick, but she got sick about a month ago. She started feeling the pollen effect as soon as it hit. Me and LeBron always get sick, but we didn't feel it at first. We just started feeling it last week.
The same. I just started doing it like today. Then Jamila started sneezing. So I don't know if it was. Hey Corey, I don't know what it is, but it's. I'm finna knock that on out though. I'm gonna give me some nettle and some other stuff and knock that on out. I ain't got time.
Yeah, I showed my throat was burning and itching real bad. So I went to the doctor and he gave me some antibiotics. And I said, thank you.
Okay.
Sometimes you need a good antibiotic.
Yeah, you
I just
do.
I just had to be real. I take a lot and do the herbs, but every once in a while, maybe once a year, you need a good little antibiotic to knock all that shit out and just be done.
Mm,
Cause I feel 1,000 times better.
yeah, I agree.
Can Corey hear it? Can you hear us, Corey?
He on
Yeah, I
here.
can.
Uh,
Um,
How
how you
y'all
been
doing?
doing? Good. How you been doing?
Man, I've been okay for the most part. I can't complain.
Okay, okay. You been holding in the road. As the old
As
folks
much
say.
as I can.
You know, you the driver of your own race car.
Man, that we most definitely are.
I'm just talking shit. Yeah. I'm up here working. It feel awkward on here early because usually uh I be by myself. I ain't by myself, so I'm having to be incognito.
mm.
Incognito.
It do feel
Mhm.
weird with the sun up.
I know it's going to be dark in the mug outside, but I can handle it though. It feel
Yeah,
good outside though.
it's beautiful outside.
It's
A good day
81
in
though.
the middle of the whatever everybody was doing.
Supposed to rain here all next week. Yikes.
Mm.
Mm.
Y'all say I'm so dry today. Y'all all right?
Yeah, I'm okay. I just had a busy weekend. This is what you gotta.
I feel you.
Taurus. I have a Taurus daughter.
Mm.
You know, Taurus is like what they like, honey.
They do. I feel you. My son had a birthday, but you know what? I will say that I didn't have to do anything for his birthday because guess who stepped up?
Who? Chew?
His daddy. Yes.
That is
Picked him
good.
up and spent the whole day with him, took him shopping, did some things. Like, okay then. It actually felt
Oh,
good.
he turned 14.
Hmm. So
He
he's
big too.
I know he real big. He real
That's what's
big.
up. Happy belated birthday to him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I felt good. And then he gets to the little age now. You know, it's like a light bulb for boys. It's just like a switch hit. It's like 1 minute they be whiny and just like damn near on the edge of being a diva. And then it's like when they hit that little age, because usually they be like, Mama, what's for dinner? Mama, what you cooking? Mama, mama, mama. Now he done hit that little switch. Bro don't even barely talk to me. He be looking at me like I'm a stranger. And then I ask him stuff and he just so chill and laid back with it. He like, nah, I'm good. I was like, you need something? Nah, I'm good. I was like, dang, that was like a drastic change from a couple months ago, but okay.
That's
Let me,
that's the weird teenage. I'm finna go to high school age.
yeah. I guess London, my oldest was never like that. So it's just different. He
Mm-hmm.
usually need me to do everything and he just like he figuring it out on his own.
He a big boy.
I know it. I'm glad too though. I appreciate it. And he have his own little money, be or doing his own little thing and his daddy started is picking up and doing stuff for the last few months. So I'm grateful. I have no complaints. You
That's
can tell when a male presence is there. I would say that
mhm.
because male men bring a different calming,
They do.
regardless of how diva-ish the man may be or emotional they may be. Sometimes when they with their sons, it translates differently. So I'm gonna say,
For sure it do.
yeah.
I agree.
But yeah,
That's
anything
ain't nothing like co-parenting.
effective co-parenting. It may take some time sometimes, but
They do.
hey.
Man, that shit just like the 12-step program. It works if you work it, goddamn it.
But you said,
He
oh,
do what it take. I ain't gonna lie, be some moments when I be like, "Ugh," but I just done learn. Hey, I can't control nobody but me, man. If you gonna do it, you
exactly.
gonna do it.
And if you
If you
ain't
not,
like
you ain't. Right. So
our
I'm not finna.
parents say on that one, if you gonna
Yeah.
do what you do,
Yep. I ain't gonna be no dead horse.
me neither.
And I ain't gonna stress it out, stress my mind out, cause mine is taken care of regardless. But I can say, uh,
Even if they is taking care of, regardless, help always helps.
well, yeah, help always is always. I'm not saying I'm against help, but I just know that even if you don't want to help as a father, they're gonna be taken care of, and that's just where
Yeah,
I have to leave it
yeah. I mean,
sometimes.
what
But
else can you do if they don't? It ain't nothing you can do. So you just do what you got to do and keep it moving.
yeah, do what you got to do. But help always is great. But I can honestly say that the father of my children has stepped up in the last few months, and I appreciate it. I'll take back some of the things I said.
I ain't taking back shit.
Well,
Cause I
that's
said
what's up
it
for
and I
him,
meant
man.
it. But that's good though. Now, if you doing good, then I will give uh I'm gonna give flowers when flowers is due. But if you ain't, then I'm
Mhm.
not. I'm not.
And
I
if
don't
you
even feel
ain't,
like
then
you
fuck
have
yeah,
to do that because they don't. If you don't, I'm big on reciprocity.
yeah,
But shout out to your baby daddy for doing what he do. Ain't nothing like a dude doing what he say he gonna do for real.
sure, right.
I
Miss
can
Brescia,
respect it 100%.
yeah, it's a little bit rest
Especially
on my
coming to your
mind.
huh?
It gives mine a little ease.
Yeah, it
Ease.
makes things easier. You don't have to stress as much.
Mm.
Hmm. That's big ups to that. I respect any man to do what they supposed to do for their kids. For real.
Oh yeah,
Even if you started a little late, late better than never.
that part. A kick in when I is really needed. Oh
Right.
yeah,
Do what you gonna do.
Who said that? Oh yeah, was that the Kool Aid
Macho
Man?
Man, Macho Man Randy Savage, man.
Yo, Randy Savage. I was like, somebody used to say that. Oh yeah.
I never watched wrestling. I couldn't get into it.
That was from like also too like the little Slim Jim commercials and shit
That's
back
what
in
I
the
was
Never
finna
took
say.
Slim
That was
Jim.
it.
day.
That's yeah.
The Kool Aid Man didn't say, "Oh yeah, y'all remember the big Kool Aid
But
Yeah,
Man
yeah,
in the
yeah,
game?"
yeah. When he was,
must
yeah, when he
have
was
been
smashed, yeah, when he was smashed through the wall and shit, he'll say, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. The Kool
That just made me think about mind your business.
Aid.
Not that damn, not mind your damn business. Yeah.
What?
'Cause do you know the flavor of the Kool-Aid, whatever?
Oh, if you don't know the flavor, then you need to. How it go? Dang, you don't know the flavor.
Then you need to
Ah,
you all in the Kool-Aid and don't know the flavor. That's it right there.
all
Hmm.
in the Kool Aid and don't know the flavor. Can y'all
Man.
hear me?
People be yeah, I can.
Okay.
People be in the Kool-Aid, baby, and don't be knowing. And it don't even be Kool-Aid, it be Powerade.
You couldn't cut the mustard, so you cannot catch up. Ooh,
If
yeah,
you
ain't
do
no
not
nothing.
shut up with that shit. Hey, I seen Miss Wesson, y'all. She looks so good.
Miss
Y'all
Wesson.
art teacher.
Uh-huh, Miss Wesson. Yep.
Good.
Her husband used to be a substitute.
I don't know. I just
Yeah, he used to
remember
be a substitute teacher. Honey, her husband was a mean baby. He did not play with these children.
it ain't no time. Ain't
Yeah,
got
he was
time
a
to play with
substitute.
these children.
Ain't nobody playing with your kid. Go play with your mammy.
Ah, don't say that, because this you might run
Cause you
across the
are a
right
day late and $1 short, baby. Woo.
Hey, you hitting with them signs today, man.
Hey, this Miss Thomason, sixth grade, six B, team 6B. Miss Thomason, she used to hit us every day. Don't come in there without your homework. She finna give us about a 10-minute lecture. The first 10 minutes of class, she finna cuss us out and go off on us and all these little weird colloquial terms, Southern white colloquial terms, cuss us out without us even knowing we're being cussed out.
there to do that.
Do what?
I always felt like
Sometimes you gotta
they put all the smart kids on 6B, 7B, and 8B. All the kids like me, we was all on 6A, 7A, and 8A type shit. They
Yeah,
kept
six.
y'all good folks in the portals and shit.
They sure did, man. I was showed the 6B in the portables, Mr. Bevis. Mr. Bevis.
I was
Hey, I ain't
in
heard
the
that
portables
name in
too.
forever, man. Mr.
Hey,
Bevis,
I
man.
seen him. He
Dang.
called me. He said, "Hey, Nafisa." I said, "Nope, I'm Kimmy."
I
he
love
said
Mr. Bevis, though.
he was so excited. He thought I was you. I started to play along with him, but then I just hit the total.
Mr. Bevis was so fucking smart, y'all. He was like a really smart math teacher, like good as hell. I fuck with Mr. Bevis. He's the one who introduced me to cross country. I was like, bro, I ain't running no mile and no half so I can die. We black people don't run no cross country.
That's
I'm a
how cross country was a mile and a half.
yes, them 2 laps around the back of Tiger it was a mile and a half. And when he put me on the team, I ain't started running to 8th grade, and I used to place every time. I was like, okay, come on in.
I don't know why I thought it was like 5 miles.
No, that's in high school, yeah. And then when I got to high school, Coach Bevis talked me up to Coach Carmichael, and I was like, I'm not finna run no 5 miles. The fuck? Nope, I ain't doing it. I'm straight. And I quit.
Okay, because I would have quit too. They tried to get me to play soccer. No, ma'am.
You would have been good at soccer.
Run up and down this big ass field.
Coach Robinson was the coach. Y'all remember Coach Robinson? We had some fire ass teachers at Tiger, y'all. Low
I,
key.
That we did.
You remember Coach Robinson, the black man coach? He
oh
was
yeah, I
married.
do remember Coach Robinson. He had the glasses.
Yes, had the glasses. Coach
Mm.
Robinson. He was the soccer coach.
No,
And
I didn't play. I wasn't finna play. I wasn't finna. Coach Lowe used to try to get me to play in high school. He told me, I know you got them big long feet. You can get out there and kick that ball. First of all, get off my feet. Second of all, I'm not playing soccer, sir. So that's how
because
I ended up
Jamal,
playing
his
volleyball.
son was really good at soccer.
He was.
He was really good. I think he works and what he does is something he does something with soccer if I'm not mistaken. But he's like a really good soccer player. Really good soccer player.
Yep,
Oh yeah, slap into a Slim Jim.
I'm dead.
That shit is on my mind. Okay, guys, I want to start our usual.
And we can.
You got your card.
I'm not ready.
Uh, I'm not ready. Hey, y'all, I ain't even gonna lie. The best feeling I've been eating meat this week. And I actually feel pretty good. I
I
think
did.
sometimes we do stuff in our minds and we get set in these ways and just be doing shit to make it sound good and glorify some shit. But
Uh-huh.
sometimes, cause like
Excuse
I ain't even gonna lie, like I stopped eating meat. I stopped eating meat before everybody was doing it. I just was on a personal mission myself. Now everything is so faddish, and it's to
Everything
the
is
point where
everything fake anyway. You might as well eat it. Shit,
right.
I ate a little burger at a thing. And I went home and drunk some slippery ham though, cause I was scared.
Yeah, but it's just like now everything is weaponized to make people feel better than other people or make you feel superior to others. And I feel like sometimes vegans and vegetarians act like they better than people. Because I can say I, sometimes feel like that because I was in good health and all that shit. But it's like it don't even matter no more, really. We're in a different era of life. Everything is evolving, and you just gotta get in where you fit in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it matters still, but
To a
I
certain
guess
extent, it
it's
does.
wherever you. I think long as you have balance.
Yeah, and it's to some extent it does, but it's at this point of where we are, like it's like you said, it's a matter of balance. You know what I'm saying? It's
Mhm.
not one way or the other. You have to find a happy medium in everything that you do. Because extremes will get you fucked up right now. Because things are changing so fast, you have to be ready for whatever. Almost like your head on a swivel type shit. So I don't know if that's good or bad, but that's just how shit is.
I think so. I
Yeah.
agree. Um, let me shuffle this one more
Well, while you doing that, I'll go ahead and do my definition.
time. Okay, yeah.
so
Okay. So, of course, our topic for today is arrested development, and we've kind of thrown that term around quite a few times in the last few episodes. So that'll be my definition for today. Uh, According to London's Psychologist Clinic, arrested development is a complex psychological phenomenon with deep roots in childhood experiences, overprotective or neglectful parenting, and trauma, and it manifests in adults through emotional immaturity, difficulty maintaining relationships, avoidance of responsibility, and dependence on other. There is no clinical diagnosis, but it can impact romantic relationships, parenting, and professional success. Is that layman enough, or do I need to break it down some more?
No, I think that's lame
nah, I
enough.
think you did good.
Break it down. Give you a basic definition now. Just some round the way shit.
What's that?
It's a state where a person's emotional, social, or cognitive development is significantly delayed or stunted, often due to trauma, neglect, or substance abuse. So, stunted mentally, emotionally, all of that, and socially. Your social interaction, your social skills is trash out here in these streets. Boy,
Man,
emotional skills is in the garbage can.
sometimes you gotta be in a garbage can. Oscar the Grouch looking ass.
Man. Your emotional, you have the emotional mindset of a 12-year-old out here in these streets, boy.
Some people do. Man. Alright, I got I'm pulling from this empaths empowerment deck.
Mhm.
So I pulled the focus on gratitude. So it says, don't wait for a crisis to happen to be grateful for your life. Today, focus on what you have to be thankful for. And with me being on a place of where I'm doing my heart space work, I think that I could easily just reword that and say, I love my ability to be grateful with
Mhm.
what I have and where I am in life so far. It's
Mhm.
like yes, I do want to do other things and try something else, but when you practice gratitude, to me, it allows you to be in the present moment.
Mhm.
So if I can be grateful for what I have instead of always trying to figure out, okay, well, I got to do this on tomorrow, or
Mhm.
this is what I need to do next, or this is what I need to do next.
Yeah.
Uh, it kind of makes you be able to enjoy life a little bit more and just slow down. It's like this weekend we're celebrating Jam's birthday, and like I got up Saturday and I had planned to okay, I'm gonna get up and then I'm gonna go and wash out my uh linens at the laundromat and then like my comforters and stuff. I ain't do none of this shit. So you know what? I'm finna just focus on her having her birthday and I'm not finna
Mhm.
stress over a whole bunch of other stuff because I was gonna be on 10,000 and nobody was gonna enjoy the day. Because I was gonna be, well, I gotta get this done and I put myself on the schedule to get started. No, I feel like that we just gonna have it's gonna be a good day. Cause
You're gonna go with the
I
flow.
know with her being a Taurus, I can take her too fast.
Yeah.
So I just was like, I'ma just let's cater
Earth
to
signs like for you to, they like to go at their
slow
own
down,
pace.
baby. And I be doing 9,000 things at one time.
Mhm.
So
Uh,
I had to just let her enjoy her birthday and just
mhm.
do so. And I just do it during the week and be on
And
Okay.
her
happy
time.
belated birthday to your baby as well.
Hers is today. She is my actual 420 baby. So yeah.
Oh, 20. I forgot
It's
today was 420, y'all. It don't even feel
definitely
like
420. I just seen somebody put on their Easter egg, put on a thing, had Snoop Dogg dressed up as the Easter bunny.
uh I think
Uh,
they just be well. What made 420 the weed holiday anyway? Like,
Girl, I don't know.
what is the science behind it? Like, what is it just is another holiday for the people to celebrate? They
Yeah,
just say,
probably. But
we just-
I don't know the significance of the number.
yeah,
I don't
that's a good one to see
well
where
she
that came from.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we can look it up and discuss it later at a later
yeah,
time.
I'm looking it up now. It say
Okay, what do you say?
in the 70s apparently coined as the code word for high school students in San Rafael, California in 1971 with the reference to 4:20 p.m. The time which they would regularly meet at an undisclosed location and smoke pot.
That
Oh,
sounds
well,
like
I
some
ain't
shit
mad at that.
somebody made up.
Yeah. My bad. Bless it.
Okay, so at a high school they made up 420 at the time they would
Yeah,
meet.
in the 70s and shit.
Okay.
Allegedly,
Ain't
allegedly.
nothing wrong with that.
Okay, 420. But we didn't start hearing about 420 to the 2000s.
On our end, yeah.
Well, I had older
You heard.
siblings.
Oh, so y'all, you heard the 424 then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't never heard of it until the 2000s. Because
Mm-mm.
Man,
people that smoke weed gonna
I,
smoke weed every day.
man, I ain't hear about this shit or really pay no attention to it, believe it or not, until my mom's had moved me to country ass fucking Lexington. And
You went
them
to
folks up
Lexington?
there, I swear
He
to
said
God,
he
like,
went to Lexington High
I
School.
do remember you saying that. Damn, Corey.
man, but you think about it, in the J here, man, we smoking every motherfucking day, man. So
Right.
like
That's what I say. It's
every
420
day
every
was
day
on
in
some
Jackson.
420 shit. And then
Mhm.
for them, you know what I'm
Everywhere.
saying? And this was my senior year because I only went 6 months there, enough just to graduate. I only went a semester. And
Mhm.
but in April, I never forget this shit. Everybody like, Corey, man, you're gonna skip school, you're gonna ditch school with me, man. Come on, man, let's go. I'm like, what the fuck is the occasion? Everybody, it's 420. Like, what the fuck is that? Everybody looked at me like I was stupid, man.
Mm.
Mhm. Yeah,
Well,
yeah, I
You
never
live and you
heard of
learn.
it.
I
Exactly.
ain't
But
gonna-
that's They be having their little special shit that they celebrate. Sound like some hippie stuff. I ain't no
Uh-huh.
weed smoker. I ain't no toker, so I don't. It ain't never hit me like that. I guess
Saying toker makes me question it.
doing what?
The fact that you said toker makes me question.
I mean, that's a phrase for it, ain't it?
Yeah, smoking and toking. Yeah,
Yeah,
Smoking and
you ain't
talking,
you ain't you ain't smoking unless you choking and shit, man.
right? Hey,
mm,
listen, that's the old school. That's why I said
that's
that,
what I'm
cause that's
saying. I know it. That's why I'm saying. That's why I said I question whether you a smoker because you said that.
yeah. I'm
Don't
not.
nobody
I'm
say
not.
they were real smokers.
This is what the white folks say is
Yeah,
tokers.
I'm just playing.
If they say 420, they the ones say that's why I say token, because to me that's some shit they do. 420 and token.
Yeah.
I'm a lover. I'm a toker. It was a song that came out like that. Damn, who is
I'm a
who?
smoker.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that shit.
yeah. This was back in my days when I liked alternative
Yeah,
white
that's
music.
that old MTV shit, man.
Yeah, old MTV, VH1, VH1 music. Hey, but y'all remember like white people had their own music back then, and black people had their own music, and it didn't really cross over until like what the mid to the 2010s.
Nah.
Mm-hmm.
When MTV blurred the lines. God
They
damn it.
did, they did, and when they started showing black folks on VH1, I was like, yeah, we finna
It's over.
blur all this.
Because VH1 used to be pop up and shit. But yeah, that's different. That's a
Didn't
different
nobody watch
story.
VH1 unless you was low key liking the little white people songs. But then they started showing house the what is the basketball wives. I was like, oh yeah, this it, this over. It's crossed over.
They don't
Everything mixed together.
they don't capture niggerdom. God damn it.
Corey.
Man, this all is on VH1. Man. But they all too are owned by the same company, Viacom. Is Viacom still alive? And did Viacom get bought out by somebody else?
I don't know.
I don't
I
even
know
know, but I sure do remember when TV shows used to go off and you would hear them words Viacom. God damn it.
Viacom, yes. Viacom was they own VH1, and I think they bought MTV and BET, so all of them under the same umbrella. And now
Yeah.
it's all one blurred line. Ain't no separation nowhere. That's why I say shit changing. I guess it's just middle grounds. Who knows? But
Hey,
anyway,
hey, hey, to that degree, before we get into our real subject and shit, though, that's what back when TV was segregated. God damn it.
right, right. It was segregated up until the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Y'all remember how it was the Real Housewives of the OC, Real Housewives in New York? They had that going on for years. The black people, we always want a piece of the pie. We be like, we want a Real Housewife show. We want this. And the minute we start begging, they
And
give
now
it to
we
us.
had baddies, and the shit is ridiculous.
Ratchet TV was born. Little did we
Man,
Right.
know.
Zeus Network, Baddies and
Uh,
Drewski. What is it? For the love of Drewski.
girl, that baddies needs to go away.
Your Baddies is horrible. Bad. I can't even stomach Baddies, but these children be watching that like that is
Watch it.
just like
like
they be
it's tea.
watching like it's for real. I be like, these folks be up here really
They be on there
dogging me.
clowning. It was an old lady on there. Well, she went old. She probably was about 50.
Fighting.
Yeah, she was
A,
winning.
a, a motherfucking Granny Goosey needs to sit her ass down.
A
Granny
damn
said, I'm gonna get that
punchback.
check. Granny said, let me run up a check real quick. Cause them little chicks on there said, hey, Zeus Network play real good. But I'm
Yeah.
wondering how good is real good?
You ain't got no like. What do you? Money. All money ain't good money.
It's
Hell
not.
nah, cause that's self
But now
exploitation
you
on that
stuck
shit, man.
exactly. You might as well that shit. Well, I don't understand. Our money ain't. I'm a firm believer in our money is not good money.
It is not. But let them tell it they was getting to the bag on Zeus Network.
I ain't mad at them though. I ain't hey. Get your money. Just know that it come with consequences. Shit.
They do.
And now
Run up a
we in
check.
the age of digital. That shit'll be up
Forever.
forever.
Exactly. You would never live that down.
Hey, that's why I'm careful about what I post on social media. Real life. Because the digital footprint ain't no more having to go back and search through no papers. Bro, oh, you was on what day? You said what? Boop, 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 boop. Okay. This it right here. This what you said. Is this you?
Hmm.
But hopefully I won't never be in the do nothing where that shit matters. Anyway.
Right.
But yeah, I prefer to keep it a buck. You got any words on the streets, Corey?
Yes, 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 yes. I was gonna kind of wait for a second, and I was gonna speak on that. But yes, ma'am,
Oh,
I
okay,
actually do, though. You feel me? And with
okay.
that being said, or whatever, my quick word on the street for this week. Of course, we all know about our good young brother, Mr. Carmelo Anthony, not the basketball player.
Okay.
um, our young brother was released, man, on bond or whatnot, and I had
Hmm.
sent that one meme to our group or whatnot. Uh, kind of illustrating on how a lot of people from a different sector probably feel or whatnot. So, just real quick before we get into our topic of things, I just want to see how you guys feel about that or whatnot as
Ain't no
mothers
fun when
and
the
black
rabbit
women.
got the gun. Ain't
None
that
at
what they
all.
say? Ain't no fun when
That
the
part.
rabbit got a gun. But if you look at the comments, bro, the vitriol is just real.
It's
Like
horrible.
it is there. Like so it just goes to show either way, whether we're on the victimizing side or the victim side, we damned if we do, damned if you do. It's no win-win. It's not. It's a no-win situation to
Correct.
me. And even if it is a psyop, I know people be like, "Oh, this is a psyop to get us off of this and that." That okay, yet and still. It's still double standards when it comes to them and how they do things in this country, and it's just that on that. Like we got to be real with that. Like,
Right.
but but like I said, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Ain't that what the old folks say? Mm.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
ma'am.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
I agree. I just, I'm just over a whole lot of shit. I hate this
Well,
ghetto, but I think I just, if you can accept things one way, then you should be able to accept things another way, even if it doesn't, if it makes you uncomfortable. The truth is truth.
but it's when you're dealing with maniacal people, it's never
I
going to
already
be.
know, but I'm just. It might what he said. What do I? So I'm just saying. I feel like
I
if
mean,
you,
no, I know. I'm just making it be known that when you're dealing with a maniacal people, it'll never be that way. It's all there, always right.
no, I'm not in delusion about that at all. I'm just saying, shit. If you can take it, you
It
should be
is
able.
some folks.
If you
It's a
can get it,
devil,
you should be able to take it.
and it's a lot of folk that's out here living in delusion land.
Uh huh.
Delusional. This stuff
One
is
thing
from
that
Stockholm
I,
syndrome. I'm sorry, Corey. Go ahead.
One, no, 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 no. Both of y'all smooth, and I'll make this real quick or whatever. One thing that I would say or whatever, like it goes in so many different sectors or whatever, or like how you could view, you know what I'm saying, bro's whole situation and shit. But
Hmm.
like that make that whole shit like kind of makes me worry of like, um, of how we kind of like once we gain, and not saying that his folks was on that shit or whatever, but once we gain a certain amount of money or whatever the case, or know withal, we tend to put our kids and ourselves in environments that are
Mm.
low key foreign. You feel me?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so where you around these people were, where I'm trying to say this shit.
Put yourself in. You kind of put yourself in the situation because you're trying to make it better. But what where
Right.
you putting yourself at ain't always better.
Correct.
Exactly.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There you go. And
Mm.
so like I say all that to say, like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes, man, like, yo, like, even though I know we all want to better ourselves and put our children in the best position, you know what I'm saying, as possible as parents and shit, in which I'm not discrediting that or taking it away from anybody who wants to put them
Hmm.
put their kids, let's, for hypothetically speaking, put their kids in USJ versus, you know what I'm saying, JCM type shit. I mean, who am I to discredit you for wanting to do that? But at the same time, especially if you have a black or, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying, so-called minority of a child and shit, you have to be conscientious of where you putting your child and the shit that they gonna have to deal with while they there. You feel me?
Exactly.
I agree. I agree, because they're different, and when their children pick up on their ways early.
Hmm.
Whereas our kids are more open to other people because as a people, we're more open to other people.
That we
We're
are.
we're friendly, no matter
Because
what.
we
We're
always
always,
invite people to,
yeah, and we just have, and that's just who we are at our core. Like our predisposition, we just are naturally inviting people. You know what I'm saying? We just That's just because we're happy. We have happy spirits for the most part as a collective. You know what I'm saying? We are happy people, regardless
Man,
of whatever. We know how to pick ourselves up. A lot of other people don't know how to do that. Like they don't know how to. They can have everything in the world around them, but they still find a way to be miserable. And what does misery loves company? So it's never
for sure.
enough. Money is never enough. Things are never enough because after a while you have so much shit and so many things and so much access that the shit don't matter no more, and you're still empty on the inside. So anybody who has hella money 9 times out of 10 has hella time, and when you have hella time, you have hella time to sit around and hate and be whatever. Black folk, we be so busy trying to make some shit happen, we really ain't got time to be hateful. If you want to be truthful.
You
right.
know, the way you said that, I when I used to kind of kick history to the youth and to my peers and people around me or whatever, and like when we would kind of be having like little mini jam sessions of like kind of where we cipher and going back and forth on the information, and folks will
Hmm.
always ask, and people abroad, period, always ask if black people, if we're so mighty of a people, you know what I mean? Like, then how did we fall or whatever? And one of the main things that I like to say is one of the reasons why I think we fail is because of our humanity. You feel me?
Yeah.
Hmm.
We are some of the
Our
most,
ability to trust other people.
if we are the most forgiving and loving people to walk this earth to the point where
Yes.
that shit just oozes out. It
Detrimental.
oozes out our eyes, man, that we so loving
Hmm.
and forgiving.
And they hate
And
that. They hate that despite whatever we could be struggling and we still find a way to make something out of nothing and still maintain that happiness and maintain that spark. And people that don't have that hate it. Hate it
that's
to
the
their
that's
core
the life.
because they don't have it. They don't have it. And they know they'll
Mhm,
never get it. And when you know you'll never get it, you'll do anything to stop other people from having it.
for sure.
I agree.
You will dim some lights because your light ain't there. And you know you'll never have that light. And like I said, a motherfucker with time, a lot of times when you have money, you have time. And ain't nothing worse than a motherfucker with time on their hands.
They get some money.
They got
And
some money because, baby,
And then
you better
also
put.
too, you feel me, a beautiful way to segue into our topic of things or whatever. Most definitely. Those are signs and forms of arrested development where they mind is stuck.
I was
You
gonna
feel
say
me?
Oh, yes.
the arrested
Oh,
development
yes.
lead
Yes.
us into where we, like what Corey was saying, what some of the things that lead us into detrimental states with our humanity is most of the time sometimes we be in a state of arrested development. So if you don't know better, how can you
You do
do
better. Yeah,
you
Yeah.
can't.
And like you said, on
exactly.
both ends, that's arrested development for them too. They stuck somewhere in some inferiority feelings or feelings that they can't get past emotionally.
Yeah.
Correct. Exactly. And
Yeah.
that's what I was alluding to or whatever. But
Yeah.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So basically that's why I was adamant because when I Googled arrested development, only thing that kept fucking popping up was the TV show. I was like, what the fuck? I ain't never watched TV shows. I said, let me read up on this stuff. So
I've never
basically, a lot of people love the show. So basically, Jason Bateman, who is some famous actor, his father is gets sentenced to jail, but he has this real estate. agency. And so all of a sudden he's thrust into running this real estate agency, maintaining being a father and helping everybody begging him for money. And he just pauses and freezes. He's realizing he's been spoiled his entire fucking life and he cannot properly be an adult.
Mm. That
So
is a state of arrested development when you are enabled to the point of where you can't do for
yeah.
yourself.
So that's one of the causes of arrested development. Trauma is one of them, which it can impair
Hmm.
your ability to develop healthy emotional and social skills. Neglect, lack of proper care coming up and nurturing during childhood can hinder developmental milestones. Substance abuse, which is more of a chemical disruption of normal development by impairing decision making, emotional regulation, and impulse control. And then finally, you have overparenting by not allowing a child to experience the natural progression of personal development as we learn about ourselves and the world around us.
Mm.
For sure. And I could see that on so many avenues with grown adults.
Yeah. Like for example, the baby boy syndrome with the movie. We black people, we all know what
Yeah.
baby boy is. Bruh was
Yes.
just spoiled, rotten. His mama spoiled him. I don't know if it's out of guilt or what, but he was just spoiled. And all the women he dealt with just let him do whatever. And so he was stuck. He was stuck in a state of what? Being a fucking teenager. He had
Mm.
kids, baby mamas, and he was just stuck on this level of not doing shit, literally. And so I was listening to Carrie Hilson talk about dating athletes. She was on the Cam Newton show and she was like, "Yeah, I've only dated two athletes in my life." And she's like, "What I realized, athletes have stunted relational they're stunted relationship wise because people have appeased to them their entire life and fed their ego." So she said they mamas and daddies, because they're kind of like the golden boy syndrome. Everybody's on their jock and feeding their ego. So at some point they just cap out. They max out. So it's hard for people to relate to them on a relationship level. And so she was basically saying, I never wanted to date athletes because me coming in as a woman, they would never listen to anything that I would have to say because they have been catered to their entire life.
Right.
I agree with that. It is hard to date people who somebody has always given you what you wanted because I'm not gonna give you.
Because eventually what's
I'm
happening when you don't
gonna
give
automatically agree with whatever you say just because you are who you are. Like I have questions and I have my own thought process.
right. And then what happens with that? You get they throw tantrums and get pissed off.
Temper tantrums, yes, and be control freaks. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Right. And I was listening to somebody else talk, and they were saying that, how everybody talks about the Pookies, and this may not be related to this. It just made me think about it. Like they was like, all these people want to talk about the Pookies and Ray Rays and dating them and how troublesome it is. He was like, what about the mathematician Marx and the fraternity brother, all these people that basically went to colleges and have all these titles. He said them be some of the worst fucking men
They be
that
control freaks.
yes, that you could ever date. And he said because they have this high esteem,
Yeah.
which
And
really,
then they also want things to look a certain way
yes. He said they be fucking terrorizing these women, and y'all want that, but they're considered high value men.
to their mamas.
Oh shit! To some of these women, they consider just because they can make more money because they didn't went to college. That don't mean shit if your personality is trash.
Man, right.
If you ain't treat nobody right. So
That too.
we went over the causes and some signs and symptoms of arrested development are emotional immaturity,
Mm.
meaning you have issues dif- you have difficulty regulating your
Regulating
emotions.
emotions. Yeah.
Yes. Or you have disproportionate emotional reactions, i.e., blowing up, getting
Blowing
angry
up. Yeah.
when
Or you
really
know
don't
what?
call for that.
It can be the opposite too. Like instead of you blowing up, you just completely like
Shut down.
ghosting a person or shutting down or no
Yeah.
not responding, or I'm not gonna say anything back to you because you're not having you can't have your way. Like that's
Yeah.
Right.
just as bad as you blowing
Blowing
up.
them off and shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd rather you
Yeah.
just tell me like what's the problem instead of you ignoring me, because when you start back talking to me, I'm still gonna be stuck right there at what's the problem.
Yep. They got emotional numbness listed as one.
Yeah,
So
that's
you could either,
rough.
yeah, emotional numbness. So you ain't got no emotions.
You get them, they just numb, or you know how to hide them so good that it's not there. I think people always have email. I don't think there is an emotionless person.
I agree.
You
It's
might
just
have
how they
you might
express their emotions.
exactly. It might come
Right.
off cold, but you might be doing some crazy shit on the side.
Right.
Right.
Or what you do
I used
behind
to
your
tell
closed door.
Right. You
Closed door.
locking
I
your girlfriend in the closet and shit when y'all get home. Correct.
that's not funny, but just the way you said it was. But no, I used to tell the kids that I used to service or whatever, um, damn, forgive me, y'all. And the people that's listening, I just literally had a whole brain fart. I
Ah,
forgot exactly what I was finna fucking say. God damn.
that 40 finna kick in.
Man, because
Oh
when that
mercy.
40
Like
hit, boy, you going to be forgetting more than that.
damn, I mean literally was on the tip of my tongue and I swear to God it just went
That's
blank.
the
Like
ancestors saving you from saying some shit you weren't supposed to.
That
God
part.
damn. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Sorry.
You good, you good, you good, you good. I just watched a whole post about a girl said what is some hoodoo that you was taught that you didn't know was hoodoo. And so people, of course I always talk about splitting the poles, and they was talking
Yep.
about your aunt
Yeah.
if you say if you finna say something,
Forget
uh
it.
and you forget
Jinx
it.
and all that shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a whole lot of stuff on it. I was like,
I've
damn.
seen
So,
it before.
yeah, I was like, so a lot of the stuff that we do,
It's deeply rooted into us, but then that
people
one that one
villainize
book
it.
that folks in the headlock so bad that
Yeah.
just
But
I
y'all doing the same stuff at church. Y'all do the same
just
exact
the
look.
same. Right, but you just got it focused on the wrong thing. That's like I like listening to that one dude that be talking about Sophia, but that's a
Ooh.
different show. We'll catch that later.
Okay. I was gonna say, who was Sophia? Now you got
But
me.
Sophia is the like how they say that you have the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost or whatever.
Mhm.
So they're saying that instead of it being like a three male part, it is a feminine aspect that has been removed, and that feminine aspect, one of the names or names for it was Sophia.
Oh.
So
Oh
I've
yeah,
been
yeah,
seeing,
yeah. I
yeah.
saw that, and then it makes
But
me think about
I haven't done like any intense, research or readings or anything about that. I just been seeing it a lot lately, and it makes sense because how can you have anything if you don't have a feminine aspect?
yeah.
How
That
can
makes me think
everything
of the
come from
Matrix
masculine? It can't. That's not physically possible.
because it came from the rib of Adam.
But what did Adam come
Amen. We all came from ribs. He
from?
was
I
from
like
clay.
ribs. I like barbecue ones.
I
Yeah.
tell I be debunking folks when they get to talking about shit like that. I be like, what do you have on your stomach or whatever? You feel me? And they be like, what do you mean?
Exactly. As you come
They
out
be
of a
like,
head, and if you
they be
did,
like, they be like, what do you mean? I'm like, don't you got a belly button fool? They like,
Right.
yeah. All right. Then your daddy have a belly button? Yeah. And then your daddy before him had a belly button. So that mean, nigga, a woman was involved, motherfucker. He was connected to some woman.
had to
Right,
be.
exactly.
You
And a
had
lot
to
of these
be.
niggas is still connected to some woman, whether it's their
Man,
mama
connected and eating
or their
them.
girlfriends, trying to get them to do stuff for them. Once again, Arrested Development. You niggas came from somewhere.
Oh yeah, now I remember what I was gonna say. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Because we were speaking about baby boy. There you go. Boy, that marijuana boy short term memory loss is a motherfucker, y'all. But no. No, believe it or not, I'm one of them dudes. Even though on some more other type shit in the movie Baby Boy, that movie was the first movie to publicly put out there my particular section, which is 107 Hoover and shit.
Mm-hmm.
The guy Melvin in the movie and shit, he was portraying one of my G homies from LA and shit, the homie Big Devil, may he rest in peace and shit. And that's his whole steez, Melvin's whole steez was monikered at the bro. But anyway, um Babe, Jody himself, I thought bro was the most sucker ass nigga I ever seen in my life. From beginning to end. The movie started out, nigga. Pete in the backyard roughing your bitch ass up, nigga. Your homeboy got you in the Chevy, as we used to call it back in the day, choking your ass out, nigga. God damn it. It go from there to your girl socking your ass up, and then nigga, you hit her, and then you eat the womb to try to make it better. Bro, you was a horrible guy. God
They
A
damn it,
whole
man.
crybaby.
finest.
Man, bro was a horrible guy, man. Horrible.
He
I
was a
just had to
whole
go there,
And
man.
crybaby.
the best part, like, well, not the best part, but the funniest part to me in that movie was when they was standing on the steps arguing about how much they hate each other.
I hate you too. Yeah.
And man, if this ain't some teenage baby daddy, baby mama shit,
And
But
I
you
think
look
that
at him,
movie,
he had multiple baby mamas.
he did.
but you
So
want to know
he
something?
had
I I think that movie low key fucked a lot of people up.
it
And
did.
and
I
and,
think it gave them an
and
idea of how baby mama
yes,
and baby daddy
and how I
is
should
supposed
act
to be.
and
Yeah.
during that relationship. And reason why I say this, and all women out there finna bust out laughing, people, whether you're listening or not or whatever, and y'all too though. And y'all can't say you might, whether you said it, you might have thought about it after that movie, especially as y'all became women in y'all adulthood. And the part of the movie is when she said, "Let me smell your dick." Man,
Oh my God.
that that puts some shit out there, man. Do you hear me?
I'm not
Yeah.
smelling your dick because I'm not going that far. Ew.
I'm good.
I'm good on that, bruh.
I
I
done
might
done
have
some
kept,
crazy shit, but I don't think I never said let
I
me
might
smell.
done check some draws, but I ain't smelling your wee wee. That's what we not doing.
But y'all won't believe how many women
No, I
who
know people who've done it. So
I
shit.
know
yeah.
I do not and don't want to, I don't think.
I don't know. I think the more toxic your relationships are, then the crazier shit will happen.
So that is
Hmm.
the prime example of a one of the first toxic relationships we saw on TV coming up as kids.
And we thought that shit was cool.
I ain't never think that shit was cool. I thought that shit was raggedy as fuck.
The motherfuckers in the movie playing cards. God damn it, playing cards at the park and shit. God damn it, like that
Right.
shit
And
was
then what
new.
shit tickled me is when Snoop Dogg got out of jail and was laying his long, skinny, ugly ass in there in her bed on her couch. I said, what? What in the fuck?
Love at the lockup.
Okay. And so that shows her state of mind. Like she was living in arrested development because obviously you didn't learn. After you was dealing with this raggedy dude, you go pick up another one from jail. And I'm not, shading women, but I'm just saying that's a form of poor relationship standards.
Yes.
Your
And you let this
romantic
nigga be
relation,
around your shorty, man. You let that
right?
nigga be around your shorty, kicking over my little nigga fort, motherfucker.
Ah, ah. And that once again, it goes relationship difficulties, forming and maintaining healthy relationships. People, that's the impact of arrested development. You keep picking up shitty people, horrible people. Somewhere along the line, you got to stop and think, like, okay, what do I need these people for? You know what I'm saying? What is the whole self-destructive behaviors, avoidance, raggedy coping mechanisms? Like,
I think
Right.
people pick up raggedy people because they be raggedy. You a reflection of whatever you pick up.
you are, and I can honestly say, when I was doing the
I
research
done
on
been
this,
raggedy, and I done picked up some raggedy people.
right, and then at that point in my life when I picked up raggedy people, I was in a raggedy position. But
Yeah.
also too, I was as I was reading, I was like, damn, I low key just came out of a state of arrested development. I'm like, I'm not even gonna lie. Because arrested development also looks like low self-esteem, substance abuse, depression and anxiety, flashbacks and intrusive thoughts, self-destructive behavior, avoidance and coping mechanisms. And as it related to drugs, like you need in that short term, that what is it? You need that hit
Escape.
constant.
Yeah, that escapism and shit.
Yeah,
But you
you so
using
you
it through drugs and shit. Yeah.
right, but also we don't even use it through drugs. I know for me, I be wanting instant. Not what is it called? I always
Instant
do stuff.
gratification.
No, not instant gratification. My dopamine levels. So I just be doing shit all the
You
time because I
love
just
to feel because
The
sometimes
the
people
rush
do
of things.
feel
Yeah.
shit.
yes, yes, to feel shit. So I fuck around
Yeah.
and go. Let me just go ride here. Let me just do this. It's never a moment for me to sit down. But that's a coping mechanism that I have learned over
To
time, so
stay
I don't have to.
busy.
Yes, to stay busy to keep from
Yeah.
dealing with what the fuck is going on.
It's easier to solve other people's problems than your own.
It is. It is. Or find something else, or not even solve nobody else's
Or
problem.
something else to focus on instead of doing what you know you need to be doing.
Exactly.
But then
Exactly.
too,
Procrastination rules the nation and play a fly voice.
man, that part. But then that too also speak to both of y'all and to most women and shit. That speaks to y'all where y'all both chimed in and both openly admitted that y'all have fucked with less less people than you or whatever. You feel me? Like less value of a person or whatever when I say that. But no, that speaks to y'all nurturing side and most women and shit. Y'all
It is. It is.
y'all
Because
y'all
sometimes you feel like you can help a motherfucker and improve them, but that's
right.
also something that
That's
happened
called
in you.
seeing somebody's potential.
Right. And that ain't what's up, seeing
Power
somebody.
is not in the potential.
And that is impaired decision making, impulse control. You knew this man was not for you and was no good. The signs was there, but
Because
you just didn't know.
sometimes you see those red flags and then you be like, you know what? I'm finna go to the carnival. And you go and you ride all the rides and then you trying to figure out how to put your life back together.
After this man done threw you off the carnival ride
And done
4 times.
drug you behind the damn super loop. You were just dangling on the side of the little sea dragon, just holding on, just not safe at all.
When you
So
said that, I visually saw everything you just said.
I did too, hanging off the super loop.
Man, you just damn, this nigga is taking me in all these fucking circles, and I'm just letting him.
And I'm
Cause
just letting
he
I'm just
got potential to be a good whatever.
so
No,
okay, so to that point, okay, I went over the signs and symptoms of arrested development, which
Hmm.
were childlike behavior, social challenges, emotional immaturity, and then the low self-esteem, substance abuse. But the impact is relationship difficulties, increased
hey,
vulnerability.
let me ask a question? Do you think that cognitive dissonance plays a
Oh
part in
yeah,
arrested development?
Heck
yes, it's
yeah.
a part of it. Yeah, most definitely. Hell yeah, they
Because it's
hand
a
in hand
coping
and shit.
mechanism. It's a coping
Okay.
mechanism. Something traumatic happened to you at some point that has you stuck in that moment.
Right.
Yep.
So, and so
The
what you
Trump.
see with a lot of, go ahead,
No,
Courtney.
I was just gonna say trauma. You feel me? Trauma,
Yeah,
learning in mental health and working in this particular field that I've been working in for these past few years, whether it's been kids or adults, you feel me? A person chronologically, you know what I'm saying, age wise could be 40, 50 years old. But
yes.
due to trauma, you feel me, and whatever may happen to them, they were stunted mentally. You feel me?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And that arrested development. You know what I mean? So they've
And
been
that's
stuck.
whenever that trauma happens. So, like, if you get
Yeah.
sexually
So
assaulted at 10, you a boy, and you to get sexually assaulted at 10 years old, that's a traumatic shit that probably got you stuck in the mind of a 10-year-old, mentally, socially, emotionally, all that shit.
behavioral
Yeah,
wise, all that shit. How you may come
yeah,
off could be very childish and deemed and seen that way, but not knowing that that's where you are because of trauma and shit. So yeah,
yeah.
most definitely.
I agree. I agree. I feel
Yeah,
like
I got one more. What about extreme recidivism, where you going in and out of jail, in and out of jail, in and out of jail?
Yes.
Think that
That
push
means
you
you,
at a
yeah,
state
you,
of arrested development?
Yes,
yeah,
it
because
does,
you stuck at that
because it
point, you
comes
go to jail.
comfortable. It
Yeah.
comes comfortable to them and shit. Like where a
What if
nigga,
when you go, say if you went into prison at 20, at 17, you got charged or something, you got to do 30 years. Do you think, like, how much do you think a person can mature in that environment?
You can't. Or let me give you an example. When a nigga go to jail, most men, if they don't do the work in jail, whatever age they go to jail, say you get
That's
5 years.
what they coming out.
That they come out, if they 17, they go in at 17, they get 5 years, they coming out at 22, they're gonna be the same person they was at 17.
But
And they're
they say
going to
the
show.
same thing when you do when somebody gets sober. Like, say if you developed a real bad habit at 20, and then you got clean off of drugs or whatever at 30, your mindset is still gonna be, you're gonna
At
want to
20.
do the shit that you didn't get to do when you was 20.
Exactly. So let's take that even further then. So for our community, a prime example of arrested development that sees us as a whole community is the crack epidemic.
Yeah.
We don't really talk about that much, but you got to think about it. That was a chemical arrested development. Like that
Mhm.
was no, and so you had to think about it. All these people got on crack. How many, and then the women that got on crack that had crack babies, that their daughters were born with crack in their eggs.
All I
It's
can
a
think
whole.
about is your mama on crack rock.
Exactly. So if your mama did crack and she did crack with you in utero and you have a daughter, her eggs are going to have that same
Exactly. So it goes for what? I think
oh
four
wow,
two,
generations of your
two or
eggs.
three generations. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
hey,
So
that's
if
So
deep.
that
Hey, I ain't
drugs,
never heard that broke down like that. And not to cut
you have,
both of
it
y'all off,
does.
but
yes,
the way y'all
but
just
When you
explained it
born, you born with all the eggs
with
all
that you.
your
all the
eggs.
eggs you have, yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah,
yes. So if your mama was
that's
on some
deep.
shit when she was you was in utero, you got the same shit, and you're gonna pass it down to your
To
daughters, and
your daughter.
it's two generations, I think.
So it's
Wow.
grandmama, and then the granddaughter will be affected.
Yes. So
Hey,
let's.
so not again, not to cut y'all off, but
I thought
that,
you good. You good.
hey, that's deep, cause like, so like, hey, so my nigga Kendrick, to quote him on it on one of my favorite songs by that nigga, ADHD, you feel me?
Mhm,
And
mhm.
one of the verses in that song, he was like, man, he was like, if you born in the '80s, we all crack babies. Not
Thank you.
saying that, man, but like, wow. Oh, so I
Yes.
mean that explains like
Right.
where we are, like
Yes.
with kids with being on the spectrum, being
Yes.
ADHD. You feel me?
It's
Not
more
only
than
with
Yes.
your
that. It's
diet and shit,
the
but
chemicals that's in the
damn,
food and the meds too.
right? That's
Yes.
what I'm saying.
But
Not only with your diet or whatever, but
right,
damn,
but
bro.
we can take it back to crack and that whole that wipe that had did a
Yeah.
number on black people for
It did.
for two generations,
Even
at
if
least two
you wasn't
generations.
even the one doing it, if you was dealing with somebody that was on it, that's just as traumatizing as actually being the
Exactly.
person that's doing the drugs. Because now you got to figure out how to deal with somebody that's not the person that they used to be. Like drug crack turns people into a monster.
Exactly. And so I was looking at some statistics about drugs and how substance abuse, especially for teenagers. So you think about a lot of teenagers start smoking weed. Most people start smoking weed at what age? 12,
Man, I was
11,
13.
12, 13. So when you
Yeah.
start, so you know they always say, so basically your prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for your rational thinking, impulse control, decision making, and emotional regulation, develops greatly from the ages of adolescence until 25 years old. So adolescence is what? When most kids start smoking marijuana.
So do
Around
you
the
think
age.
Correct.
that marijuana, you consider that a drug?
Well, I think if you start using it too soon, it can be. Cause I
And
mean, like,
then
So
and then with the
what about the kids that be on like ADHD medicine and Ritalin
Yes,
and shit
that's hard.
like
That's
that.
even worse. That's a
What,
chemicalized form. Yes, that's terrible, y'all. And they giving it to kids at the age of first grade.
Oh,
Them folks
four.
want to put, yes,
but,
3 and 4. But
but one thing that I would chime in and say though, because especially with me being out here in a state where marijuana is legal and shit or whatever, and like prime example, without using my little baby name or whatever, in the scenario, one of a child that was close to me in my household or whatever, her being in high school and us being out here in this particular state. And of course, she did what most normal high schoolers do. She partaked in dibble dabble, you know what I'm saying, so far as in trying it or whatever. But me, you know what I'm saying, keeping it real with her, I was telling her, I was letting her know, I'm like, man, like, I really don't want you to smoke. And like she
yeah,
asked me, she was like, "Why?" She was like, "Why?" Because of course she see me smoking or whatever. You feel me? And other people that's in her family around her. And she was
hmm
like, why? And my reasoning to her is because I was like, weed ain't the same like how it
It
was
is
when
no,
I was
not.
young. You feel
it
me?
is
This
not.
weed is much stronger. They put more shit in it to make it
Mhm.
yield, to make it grow. So basically you smoking GMO weed. You feel me?
That's
Genetically modified weed and shit. You feel me? You could tell like out here, and and anybody that's in a state that where marijuana is legal, they know what I'm talking about. Out here, when you're smoking, you gonna have to spend to get the organic weed. The
mhm.
best the best weed to smoke out here and that we consider top shelf or whatever is organic weed. Weed that's grown without all that extra preservative shit. You feel me? And it's smoked the best and it's the best high, so to speak, or
Yeah,
whatever. But with all that being said, with all that shit out there, man, we now can stunt them minimally. You feel
yes,
me?
yes,
Even more so than it did us. You feel me? Us
yes.
smoking the cone reefer going to school. You feel me?
Because
But
anytime the government has their hands in anything, they're going to put way more stuff in it to keep you addicted to it. Just like
for sure, for
tobacco.
sure.
People, the indigenous people smoke tobacco all the time and just used it how it's supposed to be used. But when you start putting in fertilizers and extra stuff to make it grow faster,
Cat
putting in,
piss, god damn it.
yeah, you
Yeah.
changing the chemical makeup of it. So you have to keep all of that into consideration. And then, like Cammy said, going back to what Cammy said, all these kids has been on ADHD, Ritalin, and Adderall since they was 3, 4, 5. Now you got a whole generation of kids that's depressed and sad because they've been on fucking pills since they was
Right.
They
five
more
years
than
old.
depressed
Oh,
and shot. They
and
jumped out.
and And just like y'all just said, these kids, like how we 80s babies, the
Yeah,
kids of the 90s, they are the
man.
product of pharmakia. They pharmakia
Yes,
babies. You feel me?
yes,
So that's why
yes.
all the kids now in the 2000s love to indulge in the pills. Like, where, pills to us, our generation, a
Was
lot of us,
weird.
not some of us, but a lot of us, we really didn't fuck with pills. We
No.
just Hey, like, nah, bro, I'm cool. We did and
Yeah,
we didn't, but for the most part, that that was more of a 2000s generation. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Thing or whatever.
So
And
now you
yeah,
you got these kids on blueies. They 13 and 10, 11, 12, 13 on blueies. I was watching a guy interview. He it's a whole bunch of kids out of Arizona and out west that are homeless because they got on these little blueies, which are fentanyl
um,
pills.
yeah, girl,
So
that's the epidemic out here in Denver.
yeah, they
Yeah,
all look like zombies. These kids ain't no more than 13 and 14, y'all, out here homeless.
It's bad in
yes,
Philadelphia too.
And where?
Philadelphia.
Yes.
yeah, in all major cities. Listen,
So
Bad.
I used to work for this company or whatever, and I can disclose it or whatever. You feel me? It ain't no shit. I used to work for this company out here called Urban Peak, and Urban Peaks, and anybody out there, y'all can Google and look it up and shit on your own. You know what I'm saying? Reconnaissance. But anyway, Urban Peak is a company that specializes that work with teenage youth that are experiencing homelessness. That was the
mm,
most craziest shit to really see kids who generationally, man, listen to me out there, man. Kids who have experienced homelessness on a generational level, where their mother been
Mm,
homeless type shit, and
mm,
and I mean their mother's mother, excuse me, you feel me, was homeless like they grandparents, and this shit just don't trickle down on a cycle
right.
scale,
That's a
like
state of arrested development too, though.
Development. Exactly.
most definitely
So
is.
that's a cycle that is being repeated once again. It's everything is a cycle until you decide that you want to stop and break that cycle. Everything is a repetitive cycle. So crack epidemic fucked up a whole lot of folk. We got an opioid epidemic that's fucking up other people big
Yeah.
time. So is this all by design? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like,
that
but why
goes
is it
back
by
to that
design?
conversation we had with the Carmelo Anthony. Of course, it's all by design.
Is it to control people,
I
or do
think
you
it's
want
Now,
people dead?
now,
if I can
now,
respect
folks will
you,
say
I can control
we
you.
finna go down a rabbit hole on this one, but man, most definitely, I would have to agree with both of y'all. We know with our
Yeah.
greater minds that this shit is all by design, and a lot of people will argue with us with this shit. But if y'all folks don't think or believe the powers that be, people who don't give a fuck whether you
Mhm.
see the people who stuck on race, y'all the foot soldiers, you the
Right.
hillbilly motherfuckers who they laugh at and watch go do their dirty deeds without them even fucking knowing it. You a foot soldier, you
Exactly.
just moving without even fucking knowing it type shit. But nevertheless, them elite motherfuckers, man, they ain't giving
Man.
no fuck about this shit. Man, I learned through the art of war, and a lot of
Mhm.
military strategists. People use that book to this day for some of its keen insight. And with that
Yes.
being said, these motherfuckers will kill many to save a few.
Exactly. Or like I said, a rich motherfucker that got all the money in the world. They got you done been here, there, everywhere. Did this, you done did that. You ain't got nothing else to do. You ain't got shit but time on your hand. So you already maniacal and you got time and money. Oh baby, you finna play with folks all day long.
Man,
Hmm.
'Cause
that
why
part.
not? Why not?
Like
I
how
ain't got shit else
like
to do.
like how we was talking
They
about
said
our
you spoiled rotten, so you stuck in a state of arrested development,
Right.
which
correct.
is a rich maniacal person. Like it doesn't get any more evil than that.
And then maniacal going to diabolical, god damn it.
Man. That part. Listen, we got a
You feel
whole
me?
once again. We keep bringing this up, but we got Elon Musk hole in Memphis finna fucking tear that city apart. Who
Yeah.
was he? A rich billionaire who ain't got shit to do. This motherfucker got 13 kids, about 5 baby mamas. What he got? He ain't got no but time on his motherfucking hands. Y'all think he give a shit about Memphis? No,
Hell nah.
he does not.
And then that motherfucker, like I tell folks, people, this nigga come from South Africa,
Africa,
apartheid. You feel me?
man,
So these folks say
prime,
that man as a true colonizer. You feel me?
man, in every form or fashion, every
Y'all
form or
don't
fashion.
y'all don't let a colonizer get a spot. Man, y'all folks crazy as hell.
Y'all done let the colonizer in the government,
It's
and he
too deep, bro. What the fuck?
right, and he ain't even and he played with the shit. He ain't even trying to be demure or behind the scenes. Motherfucker came in, take catch
Cause
this
why I gotta be any of that when I have this much money?
man that part. But that
What
goes
you
to
gonna
show
do?
too
What are you gonna do
how.
to me?
But that goes to show also how everybody is so caught up on money that we let a motherfucker just because he got money run everything.
Come in to do what he
Man,
wanna do. That's what
this
I'm
bitch,
saying.
man,
This shit
man,
crazy.
this bitch ass nigga put a Tesla floating around in space that's now space junk. Man, come on. God damn it.
Bruh trying to colonize Mars. The fuck?
Man, that part, man. You hear me?
But they telling us talking about the world is finna run out of resources. No, bitch, you just bored. You done been to all the islands, all the freak offs, all the Diddy parties. You got 13 baby mama, 13 kids with 5 baby mamas. You bored at this point. You ain't got
Eh,
shit
And
else to
then,
man,
do.
extra
and,
bull.
and then it also too though, as we talking about these greater powers that be, this also stems into the last segment that I was a part of, where I had my word on the street, or my avenue segment was where I was talking about those dire wolves or whatever. We got
Mm-hmm.
all the science to do that, in which me and you know, again, people with a greater intellect and using a motherfucking brain. We know if these folks got the power to fuck around with ancient ass DNA to splice and bring that shit back, man, we most definitely are living in an age where we can solve all fucking problems so far as in sickness with health. But these motherfuckers don't want to do that shit.
No, because they maniacal. It's a game to
Solve it
them.
when it's exactly. This is a game. It's like
It's a
Monopoly.
game, and it's beyond money.
Game
Because
of
at the end of
Thrones. Game of
right,
Thrones, like
Game of
y'all said.
Thrones. That's it.
Game of
It's
Thrones.
beyond money because they got all the money. These motherfuckers have been to every nook and cranny in this world. So it's beyond that. Like I said, this motherfucker got all these kids and doing all this stuff. It's about the ability to make other people do what the fuck they want to do and have control. That's what it's boiling down to.
And also too now, like man, mark my words, people out there that's listening and shit, man. I've heard these folks say it or whatever. You feel me? The next lost the front ones. Okay. I had just seen somebody into the chat, my bad. But no, damn, what was I finna say? Shit, there go that short term memory. Goddamn, I digress. Go ahead, y'all. I'm
It's
sorry.
that Mary Jane. Do you know that Mary Jane? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Do, do, do.
Hey.
It's
And
crazy.
then I'm smoking while we doing it. To be honest, cause
Mary
man,
Jane, hey, but when you smoke and do something though, it do make you. If you don't, for me, I get paranoid. But if I don't let the paranoia take over, I do be real intellectual than a motherfucker. I be like, God damn, I'm
I'm
a
right
smart
now. I'm
motherfucker.
on it. I'm in the zone, but I be forgetting shit. Damn
You gotta say that shit when it hit, cause you gonna fucking forget. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. The only thing I enjoyed about smoking was listening to music because I would hear
it.
every fucking drum, every tone, every cymbal, every motherfucking cowbell in the background. I'm gonna hear all that shit.
I still say I'm still a champion that it enhances things.
It does. But
It
I don't
enhances
need all
things.
that rapper weed. Give me some hydro. Give me a little dro. Just some of that 2007 dro. When we
Man,
was
I ain't gonna,
bumping dro shoulder lean. And I'm
man,
cool. That's all I need.
I want some of that old school red her weed that I used to smoke when I was in the eighth grade when I ain't had no business coming to Tiger high as hell. And that shit would have me high all motherfucking day, and I go home and eat a whole box of Fruit Loops and get in trouble. I want that shit.
They ain't making that shit no more.
No,
Nah, man, that shit gone.
That shit is extinct. We is living in the last days. That good weed is extinct. They want y'all ass to do these shrooms, and I ain't fucking with that neither, cause y'all promoting that shit a little too heavy, man.
Hey, 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 hey.
uh,
Now, I
Lions
concur.
mane mushroom. That's about all I'm gonna do.
Man, so Rishi,
Hey,
that's it.
hey,
I ain't.
hey, 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 guys, listen, hear me out. Hear your little brother out on this one. Now, I'm finna be all in all seriousness, like on some real shit. I suffer, you know what I'm saying? Like I ain't scared to disclose or whatever. This is my testimony or whatever. I suffer from anxiety, PTSD, and a mild case of bipolarism or whatever. You feel me?
Mm,
Again, like I say, I don't like sharing it with people, but I will share that with people just to show
yeah, your
that
vulnerability.
I know how to conduct myself and that I was willing to work on myself. Once you start
Right.
learning your triggers, you can try to put a curve in your behavior per se. I didn't want my mental disabilities, so to speak. I didn't want that to be the reason why I couldn't,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying, prosper or do something, or let that be my excuse or an scapegoat
I didn't want
to
that to be arrested development.
correct some a hindrance, some shit, a
Mm-hmm.
crutch that a nigga can run to or whatever. Even though legally I can black out on your ass and slick get off on that shit. But anyway, um, but no, on a serious note and shit though, through having those conditions and taking psilocybin or mushrooms in the correct microdosing, not taking
Hmm.
that shit to go try to see the stars and moons. Because anybody that fucks around, if you take enough of that shit, you will fuck around and you will go there.
Yeah, we'll go there
But
and won't come the fuck back.
that part, and I respect that shit enough, and I know, you know what I'm saying, that anybody who microdose or take it in that particular format, like, yeah, man, this is as far as I need to go with this
Yeah.
shit. But nevertheless, though, for me, taking shrooms where I'm normally an antsy kind of on edge person, that shit
Mm,
relaxes me and has me even more at a relaxed state than marijuana do on my life. Like where I
really?
be at a truly you're euphoric
Euphoric.
level. Like man, like I can't even explain like my
So
mood.
how do you feel emotionally? Because I had a earth sign friend who took some. He used to take it, but he
Uh-huh.
used to take it when he wanted to feel his emotions and really delve
And,
and tap
and
into
see,
his emotions and heart
and,
space.
and see, there you go. With anything in life, it's all about your intent. And then that's the way
Okay.
I explained it to my counterpartner, you feel me, to get her to take it or whatever. Because at first she
Hmm.
was apprehensive, but I was telling her she know how I am or whatever on certain
Hmm.
levels when it come to that spiritual shit. And the way I was breaking it down to her, I was breaking it down to her in a spiritual light or whatever. You feel me?
Hmm.
Long as your intent pure, you feel me? You smooth. We're taking this shit to relax, to take the edge off. Because like this shit, like they say, one of the reasons why they do want to legalize psilocybin is because of the effects that it has on people like me who
Hmm.
have strong PTSD and anxiety. That shit do number on us. It does a number
Hmm.
on us. It makes us to happier people. Like you
Yeah.
wouldn't even fucking believe. Like, I can't
Hmm.
even explain that shit. Like, and it's not necessarily no goofy shit, but I
Yeah.
can be goofy on it. But I just feel, man, that's the happy drug, man. Like, I ain't gonna lie, it ain't even no drug. Hey, man,
But it's
shout out to
not a
shrooms,
drug
man.
because it's
Y'all,
the
hey, don't
herb
knock it
that
till you try
grows
it, man.
from the.
Don't knock it
It,
till you try it.
I don't think I hate when people like. I feel like when you're speaking on shrooms and you're speaking on things that grow from the dirt, that's not a drug.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. It's a herb, man. That shit healing.
No,
You
it's a
feel me?
herb, but they have turned some of this stuff into drugs.
Yeah,
For
I mean,
sure.
I
For
agree with you
sure.
on that, but I just like to differentiate between the two. Like, even
Right.
though you can abuse, you like as
Right.
you can abuse too much damn
Anything.
rosemary. Hell, if when you cook it, you can. You know what I'm saying? So anything can be abused. I just like to differentiate. But I feel like drugs is something that where you are using a derivative of the herb,
Hmm.
not the herb in entirety, and that's where all those extra harsh ass side effects come from because
Yeah,
you're not
because they
utilizing
cause
the herb correctly.
in South America they chew the coca leaves to get rid of altitude sickness, and so they can work longer. But it don't do like the effects when they break it down and cook it down, the cocaine and
And
no shit.
cocaine, because that's a different process.
Just like the
Right.
ayahuasca. But I guess my thing is, it is a herb, but I have
And,
a problem when they take
and
it and turn it into something else, just like the ayahuasca. Ayahuasca is that shit is sacred. Like people have been
and
doing
like
this for years.
peyote, you feel me? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's all in that realm. People take that shit just like shrooms. People
yeah,
take that shit truly to tap in. You
To
feel
go
me?
on a journey, yeah.
Yeah, to tap in. The girl that introduced it to me or whatever was a earthy, down man, like hippie-ish white girl, man. I love her, man. Shout out to her, man. She like a sister to me to this day. Um, she was like, Corey, with all your knowledge, I'm telling you, just try it or whatever. And dead ass, man, we all don't seen Soul Plane. I'm like, girl, you got me
hmm
fucked up. I ain't trying to be like Snoop. And she bust out laughing or whatever. but she broke that shit down to me because she used to come to work. She would literally take shrooms, go hiking in the mountains or whatever, and be in tune with nature and shit or whatever. And that was her
Mhm.
thing. And man, and when she told me, with all the effects of people who with anxiety and all of that shit, and when I looked it up, because I'm gonna do my due diligence, I ain't just finna
Mhm.
partake in no shit and be totally green to it or whatever. But nevertheless, once I did my homework on it, man, that shit worked numbers, and that's on a serious note. Not to be taking that shit to be just high and silly somewhere,
Yeah,
but like
but it's
no,
just to tap in.
man, yo. I stand by it, damn it.
Well, the person I know that took it, like I said, they were air signed, and they said that they had to make sure their system was clear of certain foods and stuff. Like they had to really go through. It was like a ritual for them to take it. And when they did it, they had to be in nature. They couldn't be enclosed in the house or in four walls. They had to be in nature in order to feel the full effects of it and really
Right.
enjoy it.
And that's the same for me. Like when we partake, we be out and about. You have to be out and about in the
Yeah,
world, in the midst of things. You know what
you
I'm
can't just
saying?
sit in the four walls because it'll feel like they're
Because
closing in, like Alice in Wonderland.
Because truth be told, that shit is a stimulant. You feel me? In anything that's a stimulant, like being realistic, like folks who doing Molly, cocaine, people who take hella perks and
Yeah,
shit.
with
That
those
shit get them
feel good
stimulated. Huh?
hormones. I
What you
said
say,
it's
man?
gonna tap into those feel good hormones.
Serotonin
Yeah, it does.
and
But also too though,
endorphin.
but no, what I was gonna say, like most people will say, don't do it like just sitting in the house type shit, because with that shit being a stimulant, you low
Mhm.
key geeked up and you will get paranoid as fuck sitting in the house and
Yeah,
shit.
that's what they
Yeah.
said. They said that you can't sit in the house because you
And
get
that's the real
paranoid.
part.
Yeah, you feel like the walls. That's why I said they said they feel like the walls closing in. So, and they say you can't be
Yeah.
around everybody energy. You got to be around some people that you feel comfortable around. You have to
There
be
you go.
have,
Other like-minded individuals.
because
You feel me?
if you got some, because it opens you up so much that if you around somebody with some fucked up energy, you're gonna feel the energy. It's gonna really fuck up your high.
That I agree. And that's why I tell people, if you gonna take shrooms, make sure you take it around a healthy crowd. Like if
Yeah,
you're doing it, because 9 times out of 10 when you do it, you're around somebody. Make sure that person that you doing it around somebody that you feel safe, somebody that you trust and shit. Because you might trip out and you might need them to bring you back to reality type shit. And I'm being all
yeah,
realistic. Me myself, because I don't did the science bad and I don't have some good people to put me on game with this shit. And like I say, I'm in a state where they working on legalizing it, just like they
yeah.
legalize marijuana. um we take he good. When we're taking shrooms or whatever, before I just consume them, sometimes I eat them straight raw, but nine
Mm-hmm.
times out of 10 I let my shrooms sit in lime juice. Why I do that?
Ah,
Because the acidity of the lime juice is like a counteractive to the mushrooms, to the fungi. Because
mm,
when you digest it, I mean, let's be real, I mean, it's a fungus. You feel
yeah,
me? It'll low key fuck your stomach up. So
yeah.
you digesting it with that lime juice or whatever, it coats it and it won't it help it process through your stomach where it won't fuck your stomach up so much or whatever the
Gotcha.
following morning. And two, it's a reactant. Like remember back in the day when folks would take X pills, they'd drink an orange juice to help them roll.
Yeah,
No, I get-
I remember
Well,
that.
well,
I
well,
do.
well, I don't
I
know if
didn't
y'all know
follow
about
through, but
that.
I ran with some folks that was popping
Well,
eggs.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, right. Whether you know or not, well, people would do
Mhm.
that. But anyway,
But they
with
say the same thing with if you eat mangoes after you smoke or before, it increases your high.
Mm.
I didn't know that.
Mhm.
I
I
didn't know
didn't
that.
know that either.
I didn't know that. But
Yeah.
no, when you drink it with anything acidic or whatever, you feel me? That shit, whether it's orange juice, lime juice, and if you drink it consistently after you don't consumed it, it
Mhm.
intensifies the high per se or whatever.
Mm.
Okay.
But and it also
Interesting.
help your it also help your stomach process it better too. So you ain't waked
Yeah.
up. When you wake up the next morning, you ain't shitting out your brains and shit.
Oh Lord. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I took y'all down that
I
road.
know
My
you
bad.
good. You good. You might ease my mind about doing it one day.
When you
One day.
do, come out here with me.
Hey,
I got you. And
hey,
man, I'll walk you through.
I'ma hold you to that because
Yeah.
I got to be in the space. I need to be in some fresh air. I might need to be in them high altitudes.
Yes, sir.
This would be the dopest atmosphere to do that shit in. Cause truth be told, before we get off here, man, one thing I can't say about Colorado or whatever. Yes, black people, we are like 4% of
Hmm.
the population out here. But nevertheless, though, Colorado is a beautiful state, man. It's a hippie ass state that I can say.
But
Yeah,
Colorado has some sacred shit there too. Some very sacred shit that they don't ever really speak
indigenous
on.
wise. Yeah, indigenous wise,
Yeah,
most
this is why
definitely.
it's a sacred space that they don't
And
ever
also too,
talk about.
it got some ugliness to it. You know,
Yeah,
Colorado historically is one of the most racist cities out on this side of the Mississippi. But that's
yeah,
everywhere you go.
yeah. It's
You
everywhere you
feel me?
go.
That's
Yeah,
everywhere you
that's
go,
like
man.
Oregon. Oregon was bad. Had
Oh
Oregon
hell
was a
yeah!
Oregon was
Horrible,
real bad.
horrible.
Oregon was real bad, and believe it or not, black people settled in Oregon first. They kicked all the black people out and banned them until the 70s, and in 70s they made it a law to where they changed the laws to where black people could be there. I'm sure black people were there already, still, but they legally
Black
changed it
people
in the
everywhere
70s,
already.
right? But they were like yahoos about it, like real bad in Oregon, like really bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
little do people know though, a lot of neo-Nazism, all that type of
Mhm.
shit, the real skinheads, all them folks originate and come from out west,
Out
low
west,
key.
Oregon, in the state of Washington. Yes.
California, you feel me?
Yeah.
Race and shit, all that shit out this way, man. That shit is ugly. But
And a lot of them
again,
are moving to Tennessee, out here in the mountains, out here buying all this land. They're building compounds. Uh,
my
yeah.
girl can
Anyway,
testament to that because hell, we got people that she know out here, you feel me, that got hella pape and they look at Tennessee and shit as ooh, shit cheap out there, cause of course it
yep.
is
And it's
compared
a
to out here.
and it's a red state that is okay with it's a conservative state. So a lot of them moving out here. They moving out of here blindly, blind, just buying land and just building shit and moving here. So hmm,
Mm-hmm.
we'll see
Finna
where that
build
goes.
some estates and shit.
Exactly. Anyways, that was a good combo, guys.
I think so.
Yeah,
Yes, it
I
was.
got
Yes, it was.
I got one more quote, and then Cam, you could do the closing. So, trauma isn't an event that happens, but rather how you process the event. Every person's response to trauma is unique and will be different based on their history, genetics, and their actual experience of the traumatic event.
Well, yeah.
Sure.
And this is my last time. I told you I ain't like the word traumatic. This shit is a trigger word, or what's the word of what's the words the popular words buzzword at this point in life.
It triggers you.
No, it
Traum-
don't trigger me. It's a
Traumatized.
buzzword. It's a
It,
buzzword that done got on my nerves. So now I'm gonna come up with a better word for trauma, traumatic.
well, that
I'll
makes
have
sense.
it by next week.
Okay.
I'll come up with some different shit. We ain't gonna call this shit trauma no more. We ain't living in trauma no more, nigga.
We can just call it arrested development.
We can.
And then, hey, before we get out of here too, though, hey, when I used me being country and coming from where we come from, when I first used to think of Arrested Development, y'all know I used to think of the group
Hey,
Arrested Development,
let's
Tennessee.
go.
You feel me,
Tennessee,
Mr.
Tennessee.
Window, all
You
that.
miss
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah. I
window.
had to say that. I had to say that before we get out of here, though. Yeah.
Yes, sir. That's it.
Go ahead, Cammy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I am root of your root. soil of your soil, bone of your bone, and blood of your blood. In regard to the Shanklin, Jones, Fuller, Meriwether, Curran, Johnson, Dodson, Morgan, Davis, McNeil, Hill, and Crutchfield families, we thank you for your guidance, protection, wisdom, and clarity. We understand, overstand, and understand the strength and power that's being provided to us. We accept the responsibility of the gifts passed down to us. We walk in your strength and power today and every day. Ashe.
I
Yeah,
say peace.
Peace.
yeah.